Back for another week in the life, mostly chart-based this week. I'm in the biggest period of drawdown. I think I've had 1 out of 8 wins, so 7 losses going into Q3, and it's been really tough for me, but I'm going to share the full psychology and the thought process going into this new week of how I'm dealing with that. It's nice to see funded traders doing well, living a good lifestyle, sharing their profits on MetaTrader, but are they showing you the 5 to 7 trade losing streak that inevitably I'm going to have and you're going to have as well? And every funded trader that has a semi-decent win rate of like 50-60% is going to experience these drawdowns. And if you don't know how to act throughout them, then how are you going to get better as a trader? So stay with me for this one. Let's get into it. Run done. It's out of the way early. Lovely weather in the UK though. Blue sky. We don't usually get this good summers. It's been a really nice summer. Not too hot most of the time as well. Really liked it. But this is what I can't wait for. That location freedom allows you to pretty much constantly live in summer. And there's just nothing that beats being able to run in the morning, in the summer. Sun's coming up. Gonna go back. We're gonna get some more videos planned for the YouTube, I think. Add me up on Strava there so we can see each other's fitness journeys. I'll follow you back. I want to progress in all areas and I want to see you guys doing the same. So hit me up there. Whilst I am planning some content for the YouTube, I have a lot of ideas, but I'm not sure exactly how to structure my videos in regards to what you guys want to see. So drop down below in a comment a video type that you want to see and I'll look to do more of them, because at the end of the day, I want to align what I'm doing with the viewer as well. Whilst it's good to share my journey, I also want to do videos that directly help out traders that are looking for prop firms or trading prop firms, and I think that way I can really get the most out of my videos. So yeah, let me know down below. News for the week, coming into the 11th to the 15th of August, we're seeing that there's CPI, which is the biggest event of the week, of course, with GDP there for the pound, PPI later in the week, and then Friday we do have core retail sales and a bit of consumer sentiment. But the main focus is the CPI, and what we've been seeing is, especially on the core, very bad prints compared to what was forecasted. Or in same for the CPI, even though we did previously see it go down, and that was kind of expected. We have been seeing previous all looking negative, and this puts more pressure on the Fed to cut rates. So if we're going to see inflation rise, like it's saying here, there'll be less pressure on the Fed. So I don't think we're going to see these forecasted prints unless we see a shock, which is probably going to mean we're going to see a bad print for the USD. But it is going to put pressure on the Fed to cut rates, and that's probably why we're seeing some dollar weakness right now. As for the GDP, we are seeing a little rise there as well, which we have seen a bit of a mixed print the last few months. We've seen up and down, so I'm not too sure what we're going to see. PPI is looking stable, I would say, and then retail sales there, not looking the best, but still going up. That's really it. But to talk through the week, I'm not going to do my normal breakdown. I'll try and speed this up. My obvious bias for last week on EU was to see price run down. We did not see that, but we also didn't see a strong bullish candle. I'm still bearish overall until we break this daily leg, and then I'd be wrong and it'd go up all the way up to the highs. I don't really have an idea for this trade apart from the sell that I'm currently in. I'm going to let that trade play out because there wasn't enough on the weekend to tell me I'm wrong. So yeah, I don't like that candle as an engulfing candle. We are creating higher highs and higher lows. Therefore, I am just going to sit and wait. Either, what I'm looking for really is if we can get this previous weekly break and we can come up and then we can start to reject and we get a strong candle, I would look to sell to this low on a certain day this week whenever we do get that. That's my only move. If we go up, I'll miss the move to the highs, and to be honest, the way I traded, there's no way of me catching that move. The bias is just not there for me. The weekly on GU though, we closed strong bullish, so it's looking pretty different to EU right now. As well, we did actually engulf the candle body, but we did not close above the wick of the previous week. We've already taken out previous weekly high as well. This is my target still, and because I've only just been bearish there, I am going to find it very difficult to try and buy this. The first reason being is because we're still in this downside push. So if we do respect this high, then we could get the sell down. I'll be taking sells. The other thing is, I want to see this break. If we see this break, I'll be more inclined to buy up to the high. I think I might miss the full move, that's the way sometimes you have to let it go on the higher time frame. There's not much you can do about it. I'd be looking for that. It does look like it could go up, and I think this is the main target, and I can't really say I can catch an easy buy up to that high. The first reason being is because it's only about 110 pips away, and I'm going to need to see a strong candle after we see a bearish candle come down, which is when I'll be selling off it. So I think at the minute, sitting out for that and just waiting to see the week play out. And it's one of them weeks where the monthly is pushing up pretty hard on both, and we're seeing these potential pullbacks being completed, and these might have just been the monthly fills, and then we could just be done with all of that. I mean, G's looking a bit different. We still haven't come into this monthly FVG. Still could see upside from that, but we haven't even come into it. So to see this go all the way back up, I'd be very shocked. But we may just do that, and that's sometimes what happens in price. You just don't always get what you want to see. But yeah, at the minute, still bearish overall on these. I do see that the fact that especially G's looking very structurally bullish again, especially the fact we did break this lower high. So we have broken that. So that could confirm we've got a clear move back up to the upside. So on them weeks, really, you just got to sit and wait for it to play out. Sometimes you don't have enough information to take what you want to take. So until I see that information, you can't get involved, and you've got to sit out and see if it does play out. So yeah, see what happens. We'll come back another day. Let's get into the rest of the week. One of the home truths that a lot of traders do need to hear, though, is the market genuinely will do what the market does. It's for us to keep ourselves in check. And it's easy to say that when you're in a winning streak, but for the last 2 months, I've been in drawdown, right? I'm a swing trader, so I'm experiencing drawdown for not only a day or a week, I'm experiencing it for months at times. I know, based on the data that I've got, I have to go through periods of drawdown. So why should I be shocked at this stage that I'm having one of them spells? But what it is, right, and this is where you could backtest it and go, yep, I'm happy taking 7 losses in a row, or I'm happy only having 1 win out of 6. What it really comes down to, though, is are you able to actually respect that in the live market? Backtesting and the live market are two completely different things. A lot of traders take it personally when the market isn't making as much sense. To me, only last week, I actually thought I was going to have winners. I've learned already from that mindset that ended up losing all them trades that I took. I've got to be less greedy, thinking that this trade's automatically going to win because it is a so-called high quality setup. It doesn't really matter what the setup is. All setups, in my opinion, are valid in the market. Don't necessarily need to risk more or less it being an A+ setup. But I don't think many traders it is anyway. And I know over time that market conditions change. You're not always going to get your A+ setups, and you are going to sometimes have to settle for B or C setups. Not that I even categorize my setups. But what I'm saying is, in this period of time, I'm grateful for any test the market has given to me because I've experienced all the tests there is. But to get them again and again through being in drawdown teaches me that if I stick to what I do, I will be profitable. I don't need validation from any other trader or even anything that I do in the market, because the edge that I have isn't taken on 1 trading day or 2 trading days. It's taken over a variety of trading days. Some months will genuinely be the easiest months, and you cannot believe the market is this easy and it's given you so much, only for the next month to take it all away. The periods of time that you're in drawdown, reflect on it, be grateful. It's an opportunity to learn. If you are having loads of losses in a row, sometimes you do need to take a step back and go, what am I doing wrong? If you find that psychologically you're not doing anything wrong, it could just be down to your strategy. Look at your strategy, see if the data reflects it. There's obviously times the data and the live market are different, and that's why I said about that before. But just trust what you've got, because no new strategy that you go for in the next month, building up, or 2 months is going to help you out when the strategy you're currently trading, if you stop the next month or 2 months, you might have the best month you've ever had. So as a funded trader, realize that you will only experience more hardships. The longer you're in the game, you just become better at dealing with them. The end result is, whether I lose a funded account or challenge, not that I should be, but it is also not the end of the world. Traders are out there acting like this is the end of the world when they lose their challenge or lose their funded account, when you could literally pass one and be funded again in a month if things go well in the market. So realize that as well, that all your funded accounts, all your challenges are just disposable, and you can get rid of them in an instant, and you can also gain them back in an instant. So stop stressing about this whole thing about funding and getting loads of funding and making it the be or end all, because the only thing that will get you to a high level of funding across multiple different prop firms is doing the basics right and doing them over a long period of time. And I know that I will continue to do that no matter what. So These drawdown periods, they will test you, right? But do not let them get to you, because in the end, if you don't realise what they are, you won't come out on top when the market starts to go well. So that's my tip for this week. Already Wednesday morning, let's get into a breakdown of what we're doing midweek. We did see CPI come out yesterday, and we saw the yearly come under forecasted. The other two come out as forecasted. As a result of that, there's too much uncertainty still within the dollar. That's what's driving the fundamentals to be weak at the minute for the USD. So we did see a big bullish candle on EU. I was convinced when I saw these two candles here that that wasn't good enough for downside, because if we really are going down, we need to see strong candles. And we created this gap, we filled it almost, and then we've retested it yesterday morning, and that news event pushed us right back up, which was really what I anticipated, to be honest. I was expecting that. I do now want to see the previous weekly high get taken out. I'm not too sure where I stand with my position that I'm in. I don't think it's looking great. In my eyes, I'm still not really sure where we're heading. It's confusing. I don't think yesterday's candle was exactly that good to suggest we're going back up to the highs again, because it stayed within and closed below the previous daily high. And if we were going to create another imbalance, that would suggest probably more strength, but it hasn't done that, and it won't be doing that now. GU, on the other hand, very strong candle. I'm not trading anything at the minute on GU. Yeah, definitely eyeing up this high here on GU though. Can we take this high out? Took previous weekly high, we're holding above it, we filled the daily. This is the last opportunity for GU to go down, and we'll see now. If we continue to go up and have another bullish close, I'd probably say this is in jeopardy. I don't think yesterday's closing right at it, and we have gapped above it as well this morning. I don't think that's looking good to suggest we are going down. So we're just going to be waiting and seeing on what we're doing there. So it's really slow week. The weeks were here when you don't have much information and you're not clear on what you're doing. It's okay. Doesn't matter what level of trader you're at. Sometimes you are going to look at the charts and go, I don't actually have a clue what's going on. I don't think everything's making sense. Things are just not aligning, and they're the best times to sit out of the market, I've realised, because that's where, even though it doesn't appear like there's an edge, especially when you're in drawdown, these are the periods that you look back on and say, I'm so grateful I didn't take a sell on Monday morning, because I could have easily took a sell and gone, oh, it's an engulfing candle and I'm in drawdown, need to get out of it. But then I'd just be running in a loss again. Same for GU. I could have looked at that candle there on Monday's close and gone, oh, we could be going down. We did engulf. Technically, that's a confirmation. But I wrote my previous weekly breakdown on the outlook that because we created this last week, if we come into this to start the week and don't get a significant upside rejection, we're just going to end up going back up. So I knew that just because a strategy dictates that you should take a trade on a certain thing, if it's not how the week is forming in regards to seeing that bottom wick of the week, you'd want to see price continue up to start with and get a very convincing bearish candle to sell. I'm still looking for sells, obviously, on these, and I've missed the buys. They're done. If they're going to go up, I've missed them. But to me, there's no buys to take right now because of the structure, and it's hard. If you're on the lower time frames, I think the buys could be quite good. As a result, I'm going to sit out for now. Come back about Friday. We'll see exactly how the week's played out, and then see what we're looking at halfway into August, and see how, going into the rest of the month, I picture the month playing out. I've changed something from Wednesday, which I was in, and I'll show you a mistake that I made. Really, it was just coming down to this EU higher time frame position that was an idea to play down to all the way to this low, which it's not looking like that as much at the minute. I was eyeing up this trade, and I had this set from last week. Everyone know about that. That is the high and the obviously target all the way down there. What I want to talk about here is for a play like this, I take a daily engulfing candle as an exit at any point. So whether it's down here or whether it's up here. We did see that here, but for some reason, because it was hovering, I wasn't actually there, my entry was here. Because I don't know what it was, but coming on to Wednesday, Tuesday I engulfed it. Wednesday I didn't even think about closing the position. So I don't know what happened, but I had a massive lapse in my trading plan, and then this happened. So price went up. And then I come on yesterday morning on Thursday, and I just went, wait a minute, that was an exit. So I realised late, and then I got out of the position. I got out at minus 25 pips, so it's around here. That was my trade there for that move. I gave it a chance, it didn't play out. So based on this exit here, I said to myself, what do I need to see? Because then I wrote in the weekly outlook that I wanted to see an upside rejection. Is this an upside rejection? I would say it is, but it's debatable. You've got 1 day left of the weekly to close. You've been creating higher lows. Could you just create another high low and go up and break this high? Because GU did. Then I sat there and just said, like, I got out because I was expecting price to run up, and then it gave me that in golf, so I have got back in. I got in this morning at 6:30, stops above yesterday's high. Really, if this is the rejection and we're going down, then I shouldn't be having to have my stops any higher than the leg there that we had on the lower time frames. Just targeting August low, so it's a smaller position, but it's still a 5R. That's my move. Like straight up, if I'm wrong, then I got out of that position and got back in. I feel like I'm being good with my risk management, and that's my shot. It could easily, I'd rather it have taken out the high of the previous day, and it could have been a bigger candle, but it was still, it was a decent sized candle in the end. So I'm sitting there now kind of waiting to see what the weekly close is like. So my position obviously was here, but we've just gone up today. We've just completely gone straight up. And if you look on a 4 hour, we could just be respecting this 4 hour structure. We never actually broke this low, so we've pulled back with the PPI, and it could just go straight back up. But I'm having a really tricky time trying to call where price is going at the minute. I don't know why. It just seems to be really difficult. I'm just getting it wrong. But my biggest thing is, and what I'm not understanding on the higher time frames is, if this was just a liquidity grab, say we took out these lows here, and we're going to go up, why is it after seeing such a big wick rejection, have we just trickled our way up? Is it going to be, we're going to see next week a big lower high come back into the market, and then we're just going to get this massive fill of this wick? So I'm really unsure. And to me, like, the weekly's looking indecisive. The daily's still in a massive bearish leg, so I can't be bullish on it. And then the dailies are creeping up, and they keep creeping up higher. So that's my shot. I'm happy with this move. I was happy to get out the other trade. So overall, this week I'm down with that one position, and this position's still running. So yeah, it's really my one go for the week now, which is, it'll be funny if it just loses, because I did wait for that extra confirmation as well. GU, I've just not traded all week. It did take out that high, that leg. Took previous weekly high straight up, and it's looking pretty good, but is it going to continue higher? I'm not sure. Again, I can't read this too easily. I think it was kind of clear that we should take out that high, and it did it. Where I stand with this now is, if this goes up to the high, because obviously I'm not going to judge us to the end of the week, was my overall idea for a play, because of where I'm at in the market, somewhere around this morning on Wednesday, was this my play to play back up to the highs? And I'm going to sit there and wonder, was something like that my move? But I still don't know. And I'll tell you what the biggest problem's been for me in my trade in the last 2 months. EU and GU just aren't correlating. So one time I'm looking for a buy on EU and a sell on GU, and I can't get both of them right. So it's really hard for me to know what I am doing wrong on one of the pairs. So it's just there for me to investigate, really. Let's head into the account, just have a look at where we're at. So we've got the 1% risk FTMO funded. It's down 2.75%. We've got the 0.5% funded on GU. That's just down really just 1.75%, I think. So we're in good position with these two. They're not down that much. One winner will take us back to break even on them, if not profit as well. The fivers, I'm down the worst on the fivers out of all of them. I don't know how. I just am. We're at 95.2. So the trade that I'm in with a 0.75 risk, if I lose that, I'll be at 94.5, which is 4.5k. So I'll still have 6 trades left before I blow the account, but that's having some pretty big drawdown at the minute. Funded next, we've obviously breached that. We've breached that trade. I got out of it. That is done with, because I want to see what the active accounts are here and focus on these. We've had 2% drawdown nearly on this new challenge. So funny enough, I've been in drawdown, started a new account, gone straight into drawdown as well, which I wasn't expecting. And then the funded's down 3.8. If I lose this trade, it'll be down 4.5%. So my accounts are currently staggered right now, so I won't lose all at once. And I don't expect to lose these. Like on a 0.75 risk, I know I shouldn't lose the account. So if I was to lose the fivers all funded next, I'll be having a very, very big look at my trading, because I don't expect that to be happening. I've made videos on that as well. Think Capital is down phase 1. We were up 6.5% at one point. We're actually down a couple of percent now. Something about this account is you need 3 profitable days on the funded stage every time you get a payout of at least 0.5% and above balance. So if I go into drawdown and get a winner that gets me back to 99.9, then all of a sudden that doesn't count as a profitable day in the funded, which is crazy. Really, it's just a consistency score rule. So yeah, don't buy a Think Capital account. I don't like them anymore. That's just the truth of it. And would I be hurt if I lost this account? No. If anything, it'll do me a favour, because I don't like these strict rules that they place. As for E8, again, I bought this account at the very start of the drawdown period. So you can see that all I've done is take loss, 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 win. So 4%, 2%, and then here lost another 3%. So really here as a whole, I'm down 6%. I've got 4% left. So this trade loses, I'll be down 7%. It's not looking good on this one. It's going to take a long time to get back if I do get this back to where it needs to be, which is a bit of a shame. But we've just got to keep working with it, and yeah, got to keep trading the way I trade. But straight up, the win rate has just been a lot lower than last year for some reason. I'm not sure why. My win rate needs to be as close to 50% as possible, because a lot of my trades are like 2.5, 3R, 3.5, 4R maybe. I need to try and get that back. But the higher time frames in it are tough. They're not making as much sense, and I think that makes sense why it's not playing out as well. But I've just got to keep doing what I do, and if this trade loses, then I'll be reevaluating completely everything of what I want to see to be confident on taking that next trade, because the deeper you get into drawdown, the more you've really got to be careful of just putting positions in that you're chasing because you stick to a bias for too long. So that's not a psychological issue, so to speak. It's an issue at you believe your bias forever, whereas I've already tried to have this sell bias ever since we saw this big push up, and we're still yet to see it play out, but we haven't actually seen it do anything yet. And it would just be funny if I sit here and it ends up going all the way down to this low eventually, and I'll just be like, well, I was right, but it just took so long. And I've got to be patient on the higher time frames, because on a 30-minute time frame, this is London session and this is NY session, and then the next London session it can do that. But here, this was the end of July, and it could take to the end of September to get down to here. So that's my week done. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys in the next one. Take care. Have a good weekend. Peace out.